What's going on, Beaches? It's your boy Papa Swolio back with some extra thirsty. I hope you are parched because I got some juice for you. We got 5 on the motherfucking clock, and we are talking about going back to your gym, whether it's a CrossFit studio, whether it's a gym. Some of you are going back to gyms. Some of you are leaving the comfort of your own home and you're actually going out into society, and maybe your gym is open. But does your gym require you to wear a mask? Are you breathing through one of those elevation fucking masks now? Remember all those elevation masks that people were wearing and we're laughing at these jabronis in the gym on the treadmill, like breathing through a fucking mask? And now gyms are requiring you, in most cases, to wear a mask. So drop a comment down below if you're going back to your gym, if your gym is requiring masks or not. Some gyms are, some gyms aren't. So drop that comment down below right now. This gym, this is actually an article on CNN. I mean, I'm sure other news places are picking it up, but how a California gym is using plastic pods for working out during coronavirus. Now, this I'm sharing because 1, it's fucking ridiculous and funny, but also it's actually a pretty good idea. Like, look at this, okay? Think about this. It looks funny. It looks silly, but coronavirus is a real thing and we have to be mindful. And there's a lot of states that require certain things. So before you laugh and you're like, get the fuck out of here, these are gyms that are trying to stay in business. So if they can bring people back into their facility, they need to stay afloat. We need these businesses to stay open. Whether or not you like CrossFit or not, this is like a silly looking thing, but it's also a very intelligent and a very mindful type of thing. Like, it's very brilliant, but at the same time, look at how few people they can fit in their gym with these kinds of boxes, with these kinds of setups. So apparently they were doing Zoom workouts with masks on. They were testing it, and this guy says that the gym considered mandating masks for returning clients. We tested it out on Zoom and could tell that people couldn't breathe. We felt really bad for them. Our clients are like our family. We were thinking, how do we want our family to feel? Yeah, not to mention that if you can't breathe, then you shouldn't be training. It's not healthy to train when you can't fucking breathe, right? So look at these things. They're boxes. I think they're 6 foot by 10 foot. And they have all the weights and all the things in there. Now, of course, they have to clean them, and I don't know how they're actually cleaning these things. It says everything you need is inside your pod: a bench, a mat, dumbbells. There's also disinfecting spray in there, so after that, everyone can clean up after themselves. But I mean, people are definitely responding well, according to this gym, but it looks ridiculous, right? It looks ridiculous, but this is how these gyms are able to stay afloat. So I commend people trying to keep their businesses open. We all know that a lot of restaurants are shutting down. A lot of gyms can't stay afloat because if you're talking about actual disease, transmitting diseases, I think a gym is one of the top places where you're going to transmit some kind of sickness. You're all touching literally the same weights in the same place, like the handles of a dumbbell. You're all just touching the dumbbell. You're touching the bar. You're holding the handles. It's the most transmitting place probably possible. We talk about gas pumps being, okay, everyone's holding a gas pump or you're opening a doorknob, but the gym, we're all touching and literally touching the same fucking things. So gyms definitely have it rough. And if you're training at home, drop in the comments below. But I am still training at home. I started training at home about a week or 2 before all the gyms officially shut down. I saw it ahead of time. I saw it come, they're going to shut this shit down. So I bought all the stuff online and built out a fundamental gym. I don't have a barbell and stuff. I've mentioned that before on the podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the Daily Swole podcast. Smash that subscribe button. And I actually don't have any plans on going back. And it's not because I don't want to. It's not because I wouldn't like to do some barbell stuff, but I don't want to get back into a different routine. I don't trust it. I don't want to be a science experiment. We don't know exactly what's going to go on. We don't know how this is going to play out. We don't know if this is too early. People are talking about the cases spiking, but that's going to happen no matter what. Cases are going to spike just because people are mingling more. So we're going to see that spike, how much that spike will go or how far and how much of an impact and how bad this first wave, we're still in this first wave. So we're going to see how this plays out. And I'm just not willing to be a science experiment. I'm not willing to be a test bunny. Or guinea pig, whatever you want to call it. So what are your thoughts about all of this? Would you go to a gym that had these little pods? Now, of course, this is kind of limited to some types of gyms that are doing CrossFit style or group exercise. But what are your thoughts on that? I think it's both genius and also ridiculous. I would just train at home. I would personally just train at home, not going to the gym and wearing a mask. You can't breathe through a fucking mask. I have these little neck things that go over my beard, my face. it's hard to breathe for 5 seconds. I can't imagine sweating and dripping through that. Fuck that. I'd rather train at home. I'd rather train at home with my equipment, with my kettlebells, with my dumbbells, with my pull-up bars and rings and shit like that. But I mean, that's because I have access to it. So what are your thoughts? Drop it down below. I am out of time. What are your thoughts? Is your gym open? Are you still training at home? Are you like, fuck that, I'm not putting my fitness in the hands of anyone else, which is my thought. I don't want my fitness to be in the hands of anyone else anymore. This is proof enough. This is not going to end anytime soon. If anything, we're going to be back in lockdown in a few months, potentially because of the winter, but I'm out of time. Drop your comment down below and I'll see you real soon for some more Extra Thirsty fam. Mwah. Love ya.
We go from humble to flexing, you DM, I'm texting, she hit me right back. I'm on the move, I'm not stressing, the king to these peasants, you know that's a fact. Y'all hate the press, y'all elect them, a press for 11, I gave him a stack. I use these words as my weapon, the demon, the session, we killing the pack. We go from humble to flexing, you DM, I'm texting, she hit me right back. I'm on the move, I'm not stressing, the king.